Alright, so I apologize in advance for the kind of clickbaity title, talking about cancel culture, but what I really mean to talk about is ignore culture. You know, it's not me who made the rules, I'm just playing by them, or trying to at least. So the last video that I made was kind of clickbaity, titled Nietzsche is cancelled. The general idea of that video was to say that we should be mindful of the kinds of people that we ally ourselves with and use as resources, and to also say that Nietzsche himself is so corrupted that by people that I consider to be the opposition, that we should not be using him as a resource. So what I wanted to say in this video, to kind of continue on that point, and actually as I was thinking about it, I realized that this is kind of like ironically playing into a Nietzschean idea that we should be thankful for our enemies, or at least our enemies are reflective of ourselves. So something that I consider to be a basic principle or strategy of intellectual discourse is to be mindful of the kinds of people and the arguments that we are arguing against. So I see so much on the left, people talking about people like who really put the burden of all of their discourse that they're generating on the reputation of other people who are on the opposition, that are really like repugnant figures. I think it should go without saying who I'm talking about, a fellow Canadian who has really fallen off the radar, but I see him so much, especially on YouTube. So many leftists talking about him, continuing to exploit his name recognition as like a kind of alt-right figure for their own content, which is, I guess it's just a consequence of the algorithm or whatever, but it's really pathetic. And I think that there's one thing about like taking the time to like dismantle arguments that one finds interesting or potentially compelling. Like that is certainly a laudable activity. You know, a lot of leftist discourse as well is that kind of activity, especially like a basic, at a very basic level. There's a lot of like leftist 101, socialism 101 kind of content out there, which is based around taking down these like very basic arguments for capitalism. But there are also people who, I mean, I personally am not about that. That doesn't really interest me. But as I said, in the context of this one figure, it's really disgraceful that people are still like producing content, clickbaity shit, on the basis of like taking him down. Like that's fucking pathetic. Like the guy is not worth anything. And like my point here is that just as much as the people who we use as resources in a positive sense are reflective of ourselves and the social movement that we are participating in, so too are our enemies. And just like we should not like use certain people as resources because of their reputation and their like contemporary status, so too we should not be like, we should be mindful of the kind of people that we are in opposition to. Like, who fucking cares if they have a big platform and they're potentially influencing like a lot of people on that side, like, who fucking cares? It's fucking disgraceful to lower yourself to that. And there are more productive ways to reach that kind of audience, which is an important thing, but it's just so embarrassing, so cringe when I see all this kind of content. Anyway, that's it for now.